You groovy grasshoppers. You know what? Every morning I'm going to wake up and I'm going to stand up in the window and I'm going to scream. I'm going to pump my fist. I'm going to scream, fight, fight, fight. That was classic. Oh my God.
He is now Batman.
Oh God. Batman, the Pope, everybody, Superman. Honestly, I'm assuming growing up that he was not the kind of kid like you and I were. They're getting a bloody nose all the time, right? He probably never had a bloody nose before. So to his credit, he gets an assassination attempt. Now, partly missed him. Now he's bleeding. And he has the wherewithal to stand up as a 78-year-old man and realize, I bumped my fist and I'm yelling. I actually thought he was saying the F word at first, but then it was fights. The blood pressure was just pumping in me. Sorry, buddy, go ahead.
You just juxtaposed the pictures of him.
Yeah.
He just got like this close to being his
God.
head taken completely off its moorings. And he's bleeding. And he understands what just happened. How can he not? And he's up there like this, and the other guy can't even get off it.
I know. They have a video of there's a picture of Trump falling off his bike, or excuse me, Biden falling off his bike, and then you get Trump standing there with blood coming down his face. He's bumping it. Oh God, funny.
I mean, this has energized his base. It's made other people. I mean, worldwide, you got to think. Put aside your feelings about him personally, because everybody has their own opinion and their politics. But you have to figure. Right now, Putin. Right now, the North Korean leader, I can't say his name, Jim, whatever.
Yeah, Jim.
And Xi in China are like going, oh man, this guy's going to get in.
Yeah.
And we can't, he's a different guy. He wakes up at 4.
It'd be like, you have a fight, you have an MMA fight, you have the fighters coming in with the music blaring. That'll be Trump, right?
Oh, listen, when he makes the entrance tonight at the convention.
The
roof literally is going to cave.
Like I said, I would never have watched a convention before. Like, what is this nonsense? But today, I'll watch all week long. There's just no.
And I don't know if you've seen the news this morning, but he just keeps winning. The judge in Florida dismissed the classified documents case.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Threw it out. So
the FBI is going to investigate. So, what role did the FBI play in getting him arrested? Didn't they play?
The rank and file men and women are tremendous. It's floor 7. I mean, how did the FBI do with that Nassar doctor?
But hold on, let me ask you a question. Though, didn't the FBI play a big role in trying to get Trump arrested too, or imprisoned? Didn't the FBI play the FBI?
Oh yeah, I mean they went to the FISA court with all this, the Department of Justice with these. Really, Clinton paid for the dossier, which was fiction. Prostitutes peeing on him, and he's taking money from the whole thing. If we look at the timeline, since he walked down the tower and said he's running for president, they've impeached him twice.
Yeah,
on just really ridiculous stuff.
Yeah.
They've what's he got? 94 indictments now. 94, and he even says, "Hey, 3 years ago I was walking around. Now I'm running for president. All of a sudden I got these."
Right.
And we all know they're like, look at Georgia, the idiots down there, Fani Willis and her boyfriend Wade. That thing's going away. Right. Then you got this court case in Florida thrown out today. New York City is obvious what's going on there. Yeah. I mean. And then of course you got, but here's the problem, Tom, and they're already saying, the CNNs and MSNBCs of the world, well, this is Trump's he's got some dangerous rhetoric.
God.
He says some things that are a little bit off the cuff, granted,
right.
But is it dangerous to call someone Hitler repeatedly over and over
the devil
and over? And he's on the New Republic, which is a major news magazine, with him looking like Hitler. I mean, Hitler's he responsible for 11 million deaths.
I know. They call him the devil. They say he's going to ruin the country, but they never come up with like reasons why he's going to ruin the country.
No, they just say it. Yeah. He's a threat.
How about I was so when it first happened on Friday, I tried to go around online to the USA Today, New York Post. USA Today started off by saying Trump was startled, so they had to take him off the stage because of some loud noises, like really trying to mock him, right? That he's scared.
CNN said he fell. And then there's the Denver newspaper has not Trump assassination attempts, says gunman shot dead.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to empathize. Oh.
Yeah.
Isn't that sad?
And people say, well, so I'm sure you did too. You see the videos of the civilians yelling, he's on the roof, he's got a gun. It went on for like 30 seconds. It wasn't like a brief, it wasn't like 5 seconds and it didn't have time to respond. It was going on for 30 seconds. They're yelling, he's got a gun. Yeah. Like people are like, they're all like, I can't believe you're not doing something, right?
So, oh God. And correct me if I'm wrong or anybody out there, but the snipers were not Secret Service. They were local SWAT team.
Well, they said publicly that they were Secret Service.
Yeah, well, okay, but put that aside. Maybe, I'm not sure on that. But here's the thing. The Biden administration won't even give Robert Kennedy Secret Service protection. This is a guy, his uncle and his father were assassinated.
Yeah, I know.
They won't give him protection. And
They've got to. They've got to now, though.
They even tried Benny Johnson, who's a whacked out progressive Democrat. They tried, he wrote a bill he tried to get through, and 9 people signed off on it, and they agreed to take away Secret Service from Trump because he is a convicted felon. I mean, this is, I mean, I've held back, but I'm not going to hold back. This is insane. This is nonsense. And it's really destroying the nation because now we have this big, divide. But you can't call him Hitler every day. You can't say he's a threat to democracy. Yeah. You can't call him a convicted.
Right. You know, it's convenient too. You know, it's convenient. They're calling for unity right before the Republican National Convention, which is typically Trump's time to rip into it. So they're hoping, okay, Trump, you can't do this now. And so now what's going to happen if Trump says anything negative? They're going to turn it on Trump. Well, you're ruining everything. You're not being unified. Meantime, the guy gets assassinated.
Well, the story out this morning is he took the speech he was going to give. It was a very lengthy speech, tore it up, and wrote a new speech. And it's about unity. But
you know what, though? I wish you wouldn't do that, honest to God. We're not going to be unified. This notion that,
and nor should we be. We should always have differing opinions because no one's 100% right. We should always have. But this is
the Democrats think they are.
Pardon?
The Democrats think they're always right. No question about that.
And that's the elite progressives, the elites who I didn't know who to vote for. I was going to vote for Biden. Then I found out George Clooney said not to, so I stopped.
I know.
I mean,
it was just reported today that Biden took away some of the Secret Service protection from Trump to give it to Joe. Is that true?
Yes. And that's the problem. So, we talk about how is there a building 150 yards or 130 yards with clear sight lines to the stage? There's not any personnel on top of that building.
See, and here's my thing. You don't even need to have Secret Service. Just put like 4 police officers up there just to say, okay, with a radio to say, there's a guy with a gun on the roof.
But
it's not that complicated.
They're working with limited resources, and they're only under the directive of this Cheadle woman who runs the Secret Service, whose obsession was the first day in office, our agents have to be 30% female. How about 100% best people? I don't care if they're female or male. All right. And all of a sudden now, and this is another thing I don't understand. Well, I won't even say that, but there's a total, if you look at the Biden administration, Afghanistan, total debacle, 13 American soldiers killed for unnecessary. So you look at that. You look at East Palestine with the train derailment. He waited over a year to respond to that. Did nothing. Those people. Look at Maui. $700 checks handed out. But meanwhile, he's paying off Buffy and Lance's Yale degree. He's paying that off. I mean, if you go right down the line.
Who's Yale degree?
Buffy and Lance.
Who's Buffy and Lance?
Well, kids that don't need to have their paid off. You know what I mean? And so and you just Jennifer Granholm, who's like the director of energy, who can't even tell you how many kilowatts or gigawatts.
I saw that.
She has no idea. And she says. Then you got the guy who's his top economic advisor. He was a jazz musician, a very good one. I've listened to him. He's a pretty famous guy. But he didn't even understand the difference between printing money and borrowing money. These are the people that are driving the ship right now. It's insanity.
Well, let's stick to the Trump. Let's stick to the Trump thing. Though we go on and on to different angles on politics.
But what I'm saying is the Secret Service, this incompetence falls right in line with everything else.
But see, I don't think it's incompetence with the Secret Service.
Yeah, well, we can go there too.
Yeah, I just think it's. Yeah. I mean, there's just no possible way. Like, I think that Secret Service is, and I hear you with the female, male, just pick the best people, all that stuff. But it doesn't take a rocket. Like, you and I could sit there and say, okay, yeah, this building's 130 yards away. It doesn't take a rocket science to train military personnel.
You're a hockey player, and I teach people to punch each other, and we know that. Yeah,
put 5 officers up on the buildings with guns and a walkie-talkie, and say, I don't know if you can call it walkie-talkie anymore. But say, okay, if somebody's getting up on the building, radio to get Trump off the stage.
Well, how about this?
Simple. It's simple. A guy gets up on the roof. He's got a gun. Radio to get Trump off the stage. That's it. Problem's over.
How about this? Even if you don't have the personnel put there's drones flying around everywhere.
Yeah.
You put up a few drones so you can see. There's a guy on the roof. And incredibly, and you mentioned it before, the BBC interviewed a guy who had his koozie and his beer and the whole bit, real middle of it, Butler PA guy. And he said I'm telling the cops, I just saw a guy crawl
Yeah.
up. He's got a rifle.
Is that the guy with the red hat?
100%
Is that the guy with the
sure.
red hat? Is that the
He's
one?
pointing to the Secret Service because they're
Yeah.
zeroing in with the whole. None of this makes sense unless you want to believe they tried to take him out. And
I just don't how you. I hate to say it like this. How do you not come to that conclusion?
well, there's either two conclusions. One's gross incompetence,
Yep.
or the other one was
Right.
a setup.
And
Either
I just
one are not
can't.
good.
I can't believe that the Secret Service is that incompetent. They just like I have so much respect for them. That's the part of the problem. If I thought they were a bunch of mudheads, you think, oh, geez, they're just a bunch of mudheads.
But again, Tom, the rank and file, the agents are fantastic.
Yes, yes.
It's the higher ups that are calling the shots, just like with the FBI. It was Comey and was that other clown actor woman and the man, McCabe and whatever.
And we got to be careful too to not forget the poor gentleman that lost his life. He was saving his family. So
50-year-old guy, firefighter. I think he was the chief. Protecting his family, and no one's, very few people are talking to. And that's another thing. All right, Joe. Now you got another death on your hands, Joe.
Yeah, I know.
Joe Biden. I didn't have one military person die during my time. What are you talking about?
I know.
With 13 people and then 3 later in the Middle East. So I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of the gaslighting. I'm just lying every day. Every day. The border's secure.
When I heard Biden get up there,
economy-
and say we need to unite, I think, okay, you're the guy that said to put a bullseye on Trump. Like, how do you come back later on? Because they don't want Trump to now unleash the fury. The convention, right? They don't want Trump to unleash the fury at the convention, which he normally would. They want him to give repression.
I'm sure whatever he's going to do tonight is going to be great. But here's the thing, and I'm not a 100% Trump guy. I'm not. I mean, there's things that he does I don't like. I don't care for. But I don't have a personal vendetta against him. Like I know the man.
Oh, I know.
I've lost family, friends. I've lost relatives. I won't speak to anymore because I've had it. I don't want to hear anymore. What did the man do to you? I don't know what he did personally to you, but you to get that worked up over somebody you never met, never will meet.
Oh, I know. And all be, and like you said too, like if somebody wants to sit down and say to me, here's why Trump is a bad guy. Here are his policies that make him a bad guy. Then you can have a debate about that. But to just say, like there's this one old broadcast guy, he's on NBC or whatever, and he goes, oh, he's the devil, whatever. And that, who's and we talked about it the other day, the girl says Hawaii, she was in the army. Tulsi
Gabbard.
Yeah. She's great because when she gets on a debate with these people, she's calm, she's composed, and she says, okay, here, you're saying this, but here are the facts, right? And then they shut right up. They can't come back there. Well, it's, you know what, though? Here's the thing for me. It's no surprise. Like, we didn't just get here on Friday night because of the shooting. This is something that's been going on, and it's not going to change. Like, this notion that, like, here's the scary thing. You think about this. All the polls right now before Friday night said that if Biden stays in, Trump is going to beat him. Mm-hmm. Now, even more so now after Friday night. Imagine if Trump doesn't win, what the reaction is going to be.
Either way, it's not going to be good.
Yeah. What do you mean?
If he gets in, we're going to see the whole, the newest and best version of whether it's BLM, Antifa, Occupy Wall Street.
Oh.
That, and again, they keep talking about, we need to unify, cut back on the rhetoric. Well, here's the difference in the rhetoric. The media, not all of it, but most of the media and the progressives and the elites called Donald Trump Hitler. They call him every name under the sun. He calls Joe Biden Crooked Joe. Is he lying?
I know.
Is he lying? Is it not factual?
Yeah. Or a Sleepy Joe.
No, but go back to the guy's corrupt. We all know that. Why are we playing this game? That Hunter is some kind of energy expert, that Burisma was paying him all this money because of his acumen when it comes to dealing with energy issues. It was a bribe, and I'm sick and tired of Americans, including myself, not just saying, hey, no, sorry, man, that's total bullshit. Sorry, not buying it.
Yeah, I hear you. I know you're wound up, and I just hate getting off into the whole. To me, it's more the Friday night was just like that was this straw. That was like, okay. You're trying to kill the man, right?
Yeah, we need to talk about policy. We don't need to be talking about. But again, it gets back to. I just don't understand the obsession with hating this guy. I don't understand it.
Well, because that's the only way they can beat him, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
get everybody to believe.
Like if you listen since the debate, everything that the Democrats say is beat Trump, beat Trump, beat Trump. So whenever there's some kind of a conspiracy or something going on or some plan going on, all the Democrats and Republicans, I guess, do the same thing. They all say the same thing. All the media personnel, all the politicians, and everybody has been saying on the Democratic side, beat Trump, beat Trump. That's all they talk about.
Yeah.
Well,
that's okay. I mean, that's the guy they need to beat. But this other nonsense. I mean, when you see, I mean, there's so many videos that are running now where they just in line go through media people, politicians saying this, that, and the other thing about Trump. You know, the Hitler stuff, referring to him as the biggest threat to democracy. And they keep talking about January 6th. January 6th, here's my opinion on it. Not one bullet was fired except by a Capitol police officer who killed an unarmed woman, Navy veteran or Air Force veteran. That's the only thing. There was no weapons found on anybody. There was no, you know, what they did was absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
But it pales into comparison of them turning a blind eye to cities burning that summer.
Yeah, we're getting off. See, I wanted to concentrate more on the whole Friday night thing and that whole thing.
But I think it plays into it all.
Yeah. What was I thinking about just now? I think it was Drake that had some concert or something, and he had an album cover, and he must have quickly graphics, whatever they do, what they want to do. And they had a picture of Trump on there, like I think he was like the Lone Ranger or something. I don't know what it was. So,
he's Batman. I mean,
yeah.
he is a legend now. I mean,
I know. Like that picture. So there's the video of him pumping the fist and yelling, "Fight, fight, fight!" And there's the other one with the flag above him. Oh, that's iconic. That is unbelievable. Oh, that's like that. That will be. I mean, I know there's lots of great pictures, like in the war when the guys are putting the flag into the ground and all that kind of stuff. Is it World War II, World War I? There's all these iconic pictures from things in the past, but that's going to go down as one of the most iconic pictures.
Absolutely, no question. You know, it begs the question. To your point, was this incompetence or was it a setup?
Yeah.
Because none of it makes sense. I have a friend of mine, Brian Minto. He's a professional fighter. He was a heavyweight. He had 52 or 53 professional fights. Guess what? He lives in Butler, PA.
Oh.
So I called, or actually I texted him and then he called me back. He was 100 yards away from Trump.
Oh, really?
Trump was, and he said, everybody's going, there's a guy up on the roof with a gun.
See, that's the part to me that is just amazing.
It makes no, I mean.
So the president is up on stage, and citizens are yelling. There's a guy on the and if you watch the video, it goes on for at least 30 seconds. It wasn't like a quick 2 seconds, and then all of a sudden the shooting starts.
Yeah.
And then like I said before, I know you feel the same way. Okay, if you don't feel like you can shoot the perpetrator or whatever you want to call him, the assassin, then get Trump off the stage. He's out of danger at that point.
Well, that's the other part of it. It's great we got those photos of Trump defiantly pumping his fist. But the reality is that guy should have been in a vehicle on the way to the hospital with less than 30 seconds. Boom, got him. And they seemed to really, that was like a bunch of gorillas fighting over a football. It was a cluster. I don't understand how that happened either.
Yeah. And I apologize. I've been saying Friday night. It was Saturday night. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Well, actually, I kind of got confused with the whole thing. I got so wrapped up in I was like, geez.
Well, I think the whole nation's kind of like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah. Sorry, William. I hope we're not upsetting you more. Sorry, I'm going off. I'm just upset about all of this. I agree. And
I think we all are.
I think, Mark and I have over the past, have tried so hard to not talk politics. See, to me, this is beyond politics.
It isn't politics anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, with this nation, unless things change, we're really going down a really dangerous path.
Really we're down. I think we're down the path already.
We're just about 3/4 of the way down.
Yeah. Like it was funny that group. So remember when we went and did that shooting thing that Bill Brown was training us? Were we close to Butler or where were we?
We probably weren't too far from there. Right. But I mean, it's farm country.
Yeah, I remember driving in there too. The Trump signs were all over the place. It was like more Trump signs than trees.
Philadelphia is the reason that because of the population that Pennsylvania predominantly has voted Democrat. Because of Philadelphia, it's like New York City, it's such a large population.
Yeah.
You go upstate, most of the people up there probably are not real happy with Kathy Hochul and the rest. Yeah.
Did you see the people on Sunday in front of the Trump Tower drive by?
No.
They had a whole group of people there. They drive by their trucks and everything like that. It was.
Well, the guy, how old is he? 77, 78?
78, I think. Yeah.
he basically almost gets his head blown off. The next morning, he didn't miss his 9 a.m. Or whatever it was tea time. He's out there
I know.
coughing.
I know.
I mean,
Oh.
like him or not, you got to say, man, the guy, you know what?
You're very true. And like I said before, he's probably never really been bloodied before,
No.
but he still had the wherewithal to stand up after getting attempted assassination against him. I mean, think of the thoughts you're going through your head. Like, I almost died. Right? Any normal human being would, but he stands up and he's fight. Oh,
Yeah, in all honesty, I think if somebody tried to remove my head with a 223,
Yeah.
I might lay low for a few days.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And
Oh,
I think
God.
they even suggested, why don't we push back the convention a few days? He says, no. It really is
God.
remarkable when you think
Yeah.
about it.
I saw somebody get interviewed, somebody with obviously a Trump supporter, whatever, saying, or even somebody that worked for Trump, saying there's a lot of people in the past that come in sitting on the fence, wealthy donors and everything, and they didn't want people to know that they were going to donate to Trump. They would do it, but now they're saying, screw it. I want everybody to know.
Yeah. Gone is the secret handshake. Now they just tell you.
Oh, God, I know. Well, the Dems have got to be going, okay, that's great. We can't put him in jail. We can't kill him.
Yeah. They're stuck with Biden now. He won't. So that's what makes you, if you really are a conspiracy theorist, you say, okay, well, they're stuck with this guy. They know he has no chance. We got to kill him.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a stretch to think that.
Because it seems so absurd that they would miss. Like, again, it would take, like you and I, we're not experts in safety or the security and like that, but it wouldn't take a whole lot to say the guy, that rooftop is 140 yards from geez.
And in everything that I know and I've learned, and my learning is very minimal, but high ground is like, if you go back to The Art of War by Sue, Sons of high ground is where you want to be. So that's why he was elevated.
I know.
You know, that's a perfect spot for a sniper.
And as a 20-year-old kid, he had to be trained. Like, he didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, there's something not right about the whole story, even when it comes to that.
Yeah. Tom, I have to tell you, I've been seeing a lot of military trains. Wow, interesting. You see, that's an interesting perspective, right? So William sees all the trains moving and he sees more military trains.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's on the road. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but this is going to be a very rough ride, I think, up till November. There's more to come out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because we're,
I know, I agree. Well, a little hockey news here. They signed Brandon. I think this is a good signing. How about some positive? Rangers re-signed Braden Snyder to, and they call that a bridge deal, Susan. I know you know that. So it's like $2.5 million a year, I think it was, or something. Like I was surprised because I like him a lot as his agent. Yeah. Although, it's a short enough deal that now he gets a couple more years under his belt to show how good he is, and then you're back at taking another kick.
Because he got, I think, with Trouba and stuff, he really got a chance to show his wares a little bit.
Trouba's not out, though. You say Trouba out.
No, when he was injured last year.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. See, I still think that's not a done deal, that whole Trouba thing. There's just no way.
They're still talking.
Yeah, there's just no way that he can go back and play at the Garden after all that's happened.
I don't know why the fans would be down on him. He's not the guy they didn't.
Well, I think he did have an off year. I think part of it is that he was such a good player for 2 years. The first year was kind of off. Had 2 good years, and then he had an off year. But now it's also okay. Everybody loves Shesterkin, rightfully so. Got to get him signed. Part of the way to get him signed is you got to get rid of some salary. They could probably still do it, I think, but and so he was the target, and he put in his 15-team list that he didn't want to go to. Mm-hmm. Now they start negotiating with Detroit that was not on that list supposedly, and now all of a sudden the whole issue with his wife comes up. Now it didn't seem like she was complaining. What I heard was the agent Kurt Overhart was calling around to teams, and I don't think he was trying to stir the pot. He was just trying to say, okay, here's the situation here. But like we talked, there's been plenty of times before where players have had family issues go on and they have to leave and go play someplace else. That's
part of the business.
Yeah. And then we had we had Gene Simmons and Dr. Ruth and everything, and Shannon Doherty. You had a lot of deaths too.
Richard Simmons.
He changed his name before he died. He changed his name.
Yeah. He knew he was on the way out. But Richard Simmons, Dr. Ruth. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar proposed to her.
Okay. What?
When he proposed?
He was nuts over. Did they date? Did they date? Seriously? Oh, I thought they dated or something like that.
No.
Oh, nuts over. That's
Dr.
good.
Ruth was like.
Oh, I know. That's funny. I like that. That was very good. Very good. Did you create that one?
No, it's from part of my wasted youth.
Oh, okay. Yes, Patrick saying, yeah, Kane re-signed with Detroit. Detroit's going to be
Yeah.
a good team. They made some good
Yeah.
moves there. Yeah.
I mean, that's a good sign for them. I think it's a good fit for him.
Yeah. Hopefully, you know what? He's one of those guys. I hope he does well. I think he's really matured a lot. You know, he got hurt and then didn't want to end. And I admire him. He didn't want to end his career the way it ended here in New York. So, yeah. Let me see here. Well, it's 3 different generations of the
Yep.
Dr. Ruth, Richard Simmons, Shannon. Yeah. Shannon Doherty. She was a hottie too. Yeah.
And she's been battling cancer for quite a while.
Yeah. Shelley Duvall. Shelley Duvall.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
Who was she?
passed away as
The
well.
actress?
Yeah, she was in The Shining and.
Oh, yes.
played also. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The dark. Yeah, I remember her. Okay.
Yeah.
Dark haired woman. The kid from Alf passed too. Wow. Jesus.
That, I didn't know that.
Oh.
Alpha's still alive, though, I think.
There's something wrong with you.
Oh,
Seriously.
we know that. Yeah.
Isn't it interesting? It used to happen in threes. Like there would always be celebrity deaths in
Yeah.
threes, right?
Yeah. Now so that's like 5, right?
Right. That's getting
Yeah.
it's terrible.
Like everything else, getting worse.
Yeah. All right, I got to sell my truck too. So it's been sitting there. The problem for me is now with Instacart and all this stuff, you don't have to go anywhere. You just order all your food and everything.
Yeah.
So something's wrong with the transmission, and so I've got to get that sucker sold.
Slipping.
Oh God, it's been this ongoing thing where I would hear this like 2 pieces of metal grinding together, but it would happen like for 5 seconds, then it would stop, and it may go for like 2 months and never happen again, and then all of a sudden it happened again, and then it'll go for 3 months and never happen again. So the mechanic, he tried to find out what was going on, and he couldn't figure anything else. So he says, "Well, Tom, just drive it." So about 2 months ago, I drove it and it ground, but it was grinding for like 15 seconds, and then it's this constant. So
Did he change the transmission fluid?
yeah, it changed everything. Yeah, he tried the whole
Something's
shoot
not
match.
cool.
Yeah. So, but I just want to make I put that new engine into it, so I want to make sure I get the money out of that sucker. Brian Duffy. Okay, I'm gonna. Is it Brian or Brendan? That's the Brian is the vest, right? Brendan is the sleep expert. I believe,
yes.
right? Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yes, that's a beautiful part of the world up there, Nova Scotia. Yes. Okay. Now I used to be the guy getting up at 3:30 all the time, and I kind of reevaluated myself and realized, man, I need to sleep in more, and so I have been sleeping more, and I'm realizing.
Well, what time are you getting up?
My alarm goes off at 5 now.
Oh, okay. That's all right. 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Yes. So
That's about when I get up.
yeah, I had one of my followers here who I've helped quite a bit started criticizing me the other day. I said I need to sleep more. He goes, "You used to be so inspiring. Now you're just an old man." Meanwhile, I'm helping his family and everything like that. I was like, okay, thank you very much for your support. No, we don't do Costco chickens. We don't do the Costco chickens. No. Bad for you. All pumped up with chemicals and everything like that. So I had what was your constipation?
Oh yeah.
I went for like 8 days. I felt like I was pregnant.
That's
Like, I
not good
couldn't
for you, man.
poop. I know I had like the back pains walking around like. So the fiber was. I had big beans and Miralax, and man, I had so much fiber going through me.
You probably like had a
Oh yeah, it felt like there's a big ball of poop right there, and I was gonna have to slice my butthole.
eating cinder block.
Yeah. I posted a video a while ago. There's this guy had invented this thing he had in his toilet, and it had like you sit on it, and it had those separating arms. It's like spread your butt apart. I should get one of those.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's taking it to the next level.
Let me see here. Timing chain on your car. Oh, could be, Barry. Thank you.
Yeah.
The part is like I'm like, oh God, just get rid of the freaking but then I got to go figure, okay, what's the problem? Do I get it fixed? And do I
It's
sell it
automatic
after?
transmission, right?
Yeah, I feel like saying to the guy, listen, I put $10,000 into the car. Just give me $10,000 back, and then you can figure out
Well,
what's
what would it cost to put a new transmission in?
It depends. It's a great question. You can get refurbished ones, brand new ones, so it's anywhere from like $2,000 to $5,000.
Yeah.
But once somebody puts a new transmission, it's basically a new car at that point. You get this new engine.
I mean, that's your drive chain. You got a new engine and a transmission. Everything else is.
Yeah, and I've kept really good. The interior is immaculate. There's no rust on the car whatsoever. So
Maybe you want to look into that. Spend two to five instead of having to spend 50 grand.
yeah, oh yeah, to get a new one. I'm at the point. You know, honest to God, I'm getting to that point where I'm like, do I even need a car? It's like this. It's so like if I do a Ranger event, they get Uber trips for me.
They send you. Yeah, well, that's true with Uber now. If you don't need it. You don't need it.
I know you take a
You
train
can walk
places. Yeah, and then like with Instacart, it's actually even easier with Instacart because you're sitting there in your kitchen thinking, "Oh, yeah, I'm shopping with it now. I can say, do I need this? Do I not need it?" So, yeah.
But do they have everything you want? The type you want, brand you want, or anything like that?
So you can go to Costco, you can go to Stop and Shop. So it'd just be like me shopping.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
So if I not everything was at Costco, the same shopper could go to Costco and then go to Stop and Shop. You can go to Home Depot. They go everywhere now. Yeah.
And what do they charge you for it?
It's very little. It's surprising. Let's say I would spend like $100. If you remember, if it was $100 worth of groceries, it maybe would cost me 110 or 120 to get it.
Oh, it's cheaper than gas.
Well, yeah, the time and everything. It's like so convenient.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me see here. Try. Let me see here. If it was time and chain, you would not be able to move. Yeah, it moves. In fact, I moved it today. Started up, make sure. So, yeah. See, that's the thing. I wish I was a freaking mechanic, so I guess at least know what the problem was.
Yeah, they don't know. It's hard to tell them, especially when you get an older vehicle. It could be a whole bunch of things.
Yeah. How was your weekend this weekend?
Good. Yeah, just did some training. I have this guy I train out is a good friend of mine. He brings his 5-year-old boy Dominic with him.
Oh yeah. I think you told me about this. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a really adorable kid, and I call him the Dominator.
Oh.
And then I guess his mother picked up on it. She called me. You can't call me that. He says only Mark can call me that. Yeah.
That's cool. Very cool. What's going on in the world, sports world? The Mets.
Well, you got the Olympics coming up.
Well, that's right. Yes, I keep forgetting about that.
I've been watching on Netflix. It's a documentary called Sprint. It's about the female and male sprinters. Really cool.
I'm going to tell you, and this is not a sexual comment or whatever. I love watching the female sprinters. The way they train themselves and everything, and then get beautiful women, like great bodies. But it's more like the power. It's like they've got this like powerful.
When they have the camera right at the starting block, when they take off, Tom.
Yeah.
It's like, man, they explode.
Yeah.
And it's right, and it's been for a while. It's Jamaica against the U.S.
Yeah.
Because Jamaica, this is their national sport. I mean, they've got Usain Bolt and Linford Christie. And Linford, I remember when he ran. You talk about getting in somebody's head. So when Carl Lewis would line up against him, and they're going down to get ready, he'd reach out like he's picking up a pebble and put it in the lane of Carl Lewis just to get him off, like distract him for a second. There's nothing there. He just faked it.
Oh, okay.
But it just shows you like the mind games that you could play.
Yeah. It was one of the best videos I've ever seen. There's this young girl, looks like she's 5 or 6 years old. I believe she's Chinese. She's Asian of some sort. And she's doing, I'm sure it's like this thing where it's just her. She's got her, I believe, like it's either karate or kung fu or whatever, the outfit on, like the white coat. Gi. Yeah. And she's doing this routine where it's like, oh, yeah. And everything like this. She's doing all this stuff. And she's got this look on her face, like this young girl. It's just so intense, like, yeah. And everything. I'm like, oh my God. I was watching her. I was like, this is incredible. I think I saved it. I'll send it to you. But man,
he was dialed in. Yeah.
What is it like? Is that is that some sort of art or skill or competition that they do this? There's nobody else with them. They're just practicing.
Oh, yeah. They're doing what's called a kata, which is, you can do that with karate. You can do it even in Filipino martial arts with weapons.
Yeah.
They get, they get graded on how well they perform. But the gis are in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You train with a gi. There's also no gi training, because no one walks around with a gi on. No, well they don't. But it's good to learn, like grabbing lapels and being able to toss people and things like that.
Right. I thought you were joking when nobody walks around with a gi on.
Well, they better not.
See, this is the kind of stuff. Well, no, I won't do it. I'll stay away from it. See, here's the thing. We need to be a little bit supportive, okay, guys? I've been very supportive of everybody in the past. So if I'm changing my routine, there's no need to now. You should be supportive instead of making these comments. So this is not appreciated. So at all. But
3:30 is a little bit too early. I think 4:30 to 5 is
yeah, but my point is here with these five people that I've supported.
Well,
I don't think that they need. I don't think they need to be making comments like that at all. I think that's very rude. But that's just me. Tom and Mark, this week is Baseball Week Hall of Fame. Oh, yeah.
Denny McLean. I think he was maybe the last guy to have 30 wins in a year. Am I right on that?
Oh, is that right? He was Detroit Tiger, right?
Detroit Tigers. Yeah, that was quite a team they had back then. Al Kaline and
Yeah.
Dave Cash. And
Yes.
they had a all money infield one time. So Ernie Banks.
Ernie
Dave
Banks. Okay.
Cash, Don
Oh.
Money. I forget who the other guy would be.
Oh,
Toronto.
very cool.
But they had a whole. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Very cool. Very cool. Ah. 1968. Our boy William Haynes.
Yeah.
Says that's when Denny
Sounds about
Clay
right.
was there.
Yeah. Was it 30 games, Bill? I think it was.
Wow, that's amazing, right? How about these baseball players now? Like they get hurt all the time. Is there something?
Well,
what's going on with that?
And the pitching in particular, it's a pitch count now. I mean, those guys, for the better part, they pitched a full 9 innings, sometimes 11 or 12 innings. I think Bob Gibson threw 12 or 13 innings one time.
Is that right? Eh?
They didn't, they did all right with it. Now they reached a certain pitch count.
Yeah. Do you think is the case? Like they're in too good a shape now, or what's going on there?
Well, like everything else, it's driven by data,
Right.
And I don't know. Kind of to me, it kind of pulls away the whole history of baseball.
Yeah.
It's like there's no rule, there's no time clock, but now there is one.
Yeah. Phil, here's a former Northern Michigan Wildcat, Phil D'Agostino. I think that's the same. I hope I'm the same guy I'm talking about. It's Phil D'Agostino. I think that's his last name.
Yeah.
Northern Michigan University, man. So they had a major problem. So with this portal now, they had the last I heard they lost 15 players from last year's team with players leaving. So now I wasn't aware. Maybe you are. So this is portal now. So players can enter the portal after the season and just leave their school with no penalties. They don't have to sit out a season any longer.
Oh, they don't have the red shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. So and it's become. I see where it's good for the players because they can now move to a different. But that whole thing about, like, for me, one of the greatest things I ever had was to be able to play for Northern Michigan for 4 years and help be part of the program and a whole bit. Now that's gone. And again, I guess there's a lot of cases for players where they're not getting played and they need to move someplace. But
yeah, I think it's a double-edged sword because now if you don't like the coach, you can.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing. The coach feels like he can't yell at the players anymore. He can't discipline them. So.
But if you're the other school, you got to say, well, why are you leaving that school? What's your reason?
Yeah. Well, and some of it is this NIL program too. So the players are getting paid. So you go to Northern Michigan, maybe they can pay you $10,000. You go to Michigan State, they can pay you 20 or 30. Now, when you're a sophomore in college, that seems like, I'm going. That's a lot of beer money right there. Yeah.
Right away, you went to beer money. You couldn't say food money, rent money.
Keep it real, brother. Keep it real.
Yeah.
All right, William. Have a great day, everybody. God bless. My train is ready. Good to see you again, brother.
All right, Bill.
We got on a roll there with the politics. Usually I don't.
Yeah, I've been holding it, and I think a lot of people are really ticked off right now.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
Because now it's beyond even just it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. We got to get back to like some sense of reality here.
But we won't. We won't.
That's
scary. Like people, they talk about it. We need to be, more united.
You got Jen Psaki. That you remember she was, what's his name, spokesperson, the redheaded one.
Yeah.
Kiki Longstocking. She's out there blaming Republicans for Trump.
Oh, I know.
Being shot at. Well, so.
You remember after 9/11, there was this great picture of all the politicians out on the steps someplace. They're like in the Capitol or wherever it was, all the Democrats, Republicans. Remember that? They're all united the whole bit after 9/11.
That was 9/11, I think it was.
Yeah, it was 9/11.
Yeah.
But that lasted like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, if you recall too, then just driving around, there were American flags everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that we got away from that, but people forget very quickly.
Yeah, it'll be a short-term thing, and they'll use it to their advantage some way, and then move on.
I'm just tired of being like bold-faced lied to when I know the truth.
Well,
you can't tell me the border's secure when we see literally millions of people walking across it.
I know.
You can't.
See, that's the scary thing, that they've gotten so arrogant with their lies that they just don't. There's no attempt to even appear to be telling the truth.
To even try.
Yeah.
They take us for stupid.
Yeah.
Really.
I saw you ever see there's a couple, they do a show called The Young Turks. It's a couple of Democrats.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of that.
This guy and a girl. The one girl, she was saying she got just vicious with other women. The women that voted for Trump. She says, no, they were saying that you're just stupid. Like,
Yeah.
It wasn't like I don't agree with your opinion. You're stupid. Right?
Well, this is how we arrived at the point where we are in this nation. No one on that side of the aisle, and the Republicans too, but that elite progressive think tank, they really think they're smarter than us. So if you don't agree with them, then you're stupid.
Yeah, totally.
If you don't believe 100% in climate change, you're stupid.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah.
You
know what I didn't realize before? I mistakenly had said that climate change and global warming were two separate things. Mm-hmm. Climate change is the overall encompassing.
Could go either way.
Climate and global warming is underneath that. It doesn't go either way. I thought it did before. This is my research that I found out that is climate change is again the overreaching whatever, and then global warming is underneath that. That's global warming is part of climate change. It's just another factor that goes into climate change.
Well, I don't have the data. It does seem the weather has changed, but it's changed throughout my lifetime. You got cold winters, warm winters. Yeah. But here's the thing. Certainly, we don't want to pollute the planet. I mean, that's a given. Yep. And certainly, is it plausible that man's efforts are creating global warming? Absolutely. And the best explanation I heard of it is if you deforest and you remove plants or trees rather and vegetation that that consume the carbon, your carbon rate's going to go up. So
you know that the whole carbon thing, the research I've done is say we need carbon. We actually need more carbon.
Of course we do. But what I'm saying is we could reduce the carbon without worrying about emissions.
But what they're saying is that we need more carbon. This notion that the carbon is bad for us is a misnomer. This is what the research I've done.
Well,
and then you think back to the ozone layer. It's got a hole in it. That was the thing a few years ago. What happened?
Acid rain and save the whales.
Yeah. So
you go through periods of.
What happened to the ozone? All of a sudden, it healed itself, or
it's
what?
Better.
It's better now.
It's better. Yeah, I don't break up styrofoam anymore because that was one of the things that.
Oh,
but here's the thing. I mean, let's if we're really concerned, let's take some logical, well thought out. Let's not just say, "Hey, everybody, get rid of your car. We're all going to drive an electric vehicle now."
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people, if you do your research, will argue that the electric car is more pollutes all the mining that has to happen just to make one battery, like the cobalt and everything that goes into that. It's There's some fantastic videos of guys. They can't find a place to charge their Tesla, so they get their generator at home and hook it up to the Tesla.
Yeah,
so it's got the fumes coming.
Well, the power's got to come from somewhere.
I know. Well, again, just watching the videos, some guy was saying you go to the towns to say, okay, here's how much power we need to manufacture, and then be able to charge all the vehicles. If you want us to get to this 2030 mandate of electric vehicles, the towns are saying there's no energy for that. You can't do that. It's not available.
So I'm a big believer in letting the private sector develop. All right.
Oh yeah.
So let's just look at Biden and his Inflation Reduction Act. Set aside $5 billion to build coast-to-coast charging stations. Okay, that was 2 years ago. That money went out. So far, do you know how many they've built?
2.
No, you're off by 6. They built 8.
Yeah.
In the same period of time, private sector's built 150,000 of them.
Oh, is that right?
So the notion that the government does everything better.
Oh God, no.
Than private sector is so illogical.
What is this 2025 thing?
2025 is 400 conservative scholars got together and they wrote this paper, and it's what they would like to see as a blueprint for the Conservative Party to move.
So these are not politicians necessarily. They're just
no, they're not politicians. They're conservative scholars. It is not endorsed by Trump. It wasn't written by Trump, and he's even said there's things in there I like, there's things in there I don't like. But the left, here we go again with they're saying it's basically Mein Kampf.
It's what? Sorry,
Mein Kampf, which was the Nazi playbook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they're basically saying, the whole bit. And again, it gets back to stop lying to me. Stop lying to me.
But who's lying?
The media and the Democrats. They're all freaking out about Project 2025. Trump didn't write it. It's not the official platform of the Republican Party. It is a suggestion or a blueprint, much in the way the Contract for America.
So a bunch of independent scholars got together and created this. They weren't asked to by anybody. They weren't funded by anybody.
Well, they're funded. I mean, all these think tanks are funded. I mean,
but who's it funded by?
By people that are conservative people with money, much in the same way that the progressive think tanks are funded.
Right.
But here's the thing, again, they know that Biden cannot win based upon the history of what happened in this country under his administration. They know that. So what they're trying to do is get us to take our eye off of inflation, open border, the world inflamed.
Yeah.
They're trying to distract us with this Project 2025 that if Trump's elected and we do this, we're all going to be in a concentration camp.
Well, that's one of many things they're trying to use, right? It's not,
and why don't they, if they really want to have a cogent discussion.
Cogent. I like cogent.
With the American public, then present it that way. Don't keep throwing out this nonsense and expect us to go, oh,
they don't.
Okay.
They don't want a cogent discussion, right?
Because they don't.
And remember, at the root of all of this is money.
Money.
Right. So the State Street, BlackRock, Vanguard, the Rockefellers, they own a large majority of pharmaceutical companies, fast food restaurants, media outlets. They make a large chunk of the donations to politicians. So they get whatever they want. This notion that they want us united, that's what the politicians say. They don't want that. They want us divided. So if we all got together and united, then we would say to them, get your money out of our politics
and cut the
concentrate. Yeah. But it's never going to happen.
I like to watch some of the European news because you get a completely different view on what's going on.
Yeah.
So about I don't know, it was a month or 3 weeks ago, I watched this. So Poland, is on the western border of Ukraine.
Yeah.
And the Polish farmers blocked the border with their tractors.
Oh, I saw that. Yes, I saw that.
Yes. What was happening was the Ukrainians were dumping wheat at a lower cost.
Yeah.
In the Polish farm. So they were driving them out of business.
Yeah.
So, but guess who owns all the wheat in Ukraine?
BlackRock?
And Vanguard.
Yeah. It's the same thing that BlackRock has the contract now to go fix up Ukraine after the war's over.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But it's so funny too. Like we talked about before. It's so open and apparent. They just don't care.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Because most people are too tied up in this whole.
Yeah. The Democrats, Republicans. Yeah.
Yeah. And also just hating Trump.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Oh, he's classy. I wonder what he thinks about when he goes to bed at night. Like, does he say to himself, what did I get myself into? Or he's going, God.
I'm sure and he's even admitted it. He said he wouldn't be running again if Biden hadn't destroyed the nation.
Right.
He said, well, I wouldn't run again.
But do you think there's part of it that goes, man, I love this stuff?
Of course he does. Well, look, he's a narcissist, but they all are.
Yeah.
They all are. I mean,
but at least he admits it, right? There's no hiding it. It's like he might as well just get up and say, "Listen, I'm a narcissist."
George Clooney. Let's go back to George Clooney. Hey, number one, why do we have to even have his opinion on anything? It's beyond me. But how great do you think he feels?
Well, it's so condescending too. So he goes like a couple of weeks before the debate, this great debate. He puts a fundraiser together. We raised like $30 million supporting Biden, and then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, because of one debate, he shouldn't be running for president.
He didn't notice him drooling at the dinner table.
I know. Peeing his pants in the diaper.
And the people that do they get their money back? I'd be like, hey, George, that $10 million I gave you, I'm going to need that back.
See, and I researched this interesting point because remember we had the discussion about there was $200 million, whatever, available, and they would lose that money. I think I sent you the article in the USA Today where there's individual PACs and they get to decide what happens with that money. So, I didn't know either. I didn't understand what the reality was. So,
but they've really worked themselves into a corner because they can't put out Kamala. She's got less approval ratings than Biden, but they can't step over her because she's female and she's a minority.
Well, that's why Michelle Obama, see.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see her running.
Oh, I do.
She's as polarizing as Trump is.
That's exactly the point.
Yeah, but Biden, if Biden refuses to go, they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, they can force him out. Yes, they can.
No, they can't. Well, I'll tell you how they can. Oh, turns out you were taking money.
Yeah, they'll get him out.
Yeah.
They'll threaten him or pay him off, whatever. He'll be, if they want him out, they'll get him gone. And to your point, there's nobody else there that can beat Trump, and he can't beat Trump. The only person that poll numbers poll better than Trump's Michelle Obama. Yeah. And she'll come in at the last minute, save the day, I'm saving the country from this evil man. We've tried to put him in prison. We've tried to kill him. And now comes Michelle Obama with her giant penis. Right. She's going to beat him to death with her penis.
You know what happened to Joan Rivers? Don't go.
I'm 66. What the hell?
Yeah, what the hell? It's been a good run.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm all punched up anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Constipated. Might as well kill me.
How's it going now?
I tell you, there's a couple of times where I couldn't poop there. I thought, shoot me now. God, shoot me in the stomach so the poop comes flying out. Yeah. All right. So this is usually not our kind of show, but for us not talk about that today, it just would be ridiculous. Like to go on and talk about hockey when this kind of stuff's going on.
Be denying reality.
Yeah, definitely. All right, brother. Onward and upward. Just load the shotgun. Who knows where
Listen,
we're going.
And I'll leave you on this note. This is surreal at this point. It really is.
It really is. Like the whole timing and everything, right? Going into the convention and all that kinds of stuff.
I mean, I said to Beth, the past 5 years between COVID and that unreality, which by the way, all those guys are skating. Fauci's skating. He got his money. He's gone with the 6 foot apart. And I go, no, we just made that up.
Yeah.
But trust the science. We're going with science. That part we made up. Everything else was science. That part it started with that, and then.
Deb, good point for you, Deb. Thanks for pointing that out. Our 988 hotline that is run by Vibrant. Our friend Jennifer Ashley. We've still got to get her on the show. She runs. She's the head, I think, of Vibrant, which is in charge of running the hotline. 2 years old. Very interesting. Wow, that got quick. Wow. So initially it was started, I think, as a mental health hotline, but they also included that now into suicide prevention and everything too. So thank you very much, Deb, for pointing that out. We got to, again, as much as we want, you can't stop talking about politics, but we want to keep our eye on the focus and helping other people and making sure the whole mental health issue is a huge thing out there.
Yeah, we got to look after our brothers and sisters because nobody else is. They're just trying to fleece you.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, by the way, too, I had Mark Pavich's sister Jean and Mark's really good friend Ron on. We posted a picture. She described. I haven't seen the statue. Did you see the statue I posted?
Cool. Yeah,
wow. She described it when she was telling me. I was like, wow, that's cool. And then to see it, that was excellent. I guess they had a benefactor who did not want to be named. Or put a lot of money into. I think like $85,000 or something, putting that statue together. So they're doing a lot of great things too for mental health in Mark's memory. So it was really good to see Jean and her friend, his best friend Ron, as well. God, I can't remember his name, but the last name, but Ron, great guy. So, all right, everybody, let's keep helping everybody. The 980 hotline, the shoulder check, the Mark Pavlich. Again, the ranch is called, it's the Ranch Friends Forever, I think it is. Friends Forever. Yeah. So if you don't want to go to the website to donate or whatever, let's do that. Mark's control of the thumb. I can't do it. You do it.
I don't know.
You have the magic thumb.
Yeah.
Maybe I was going to say something rude there, but I won't do that. So.
No, it's all.
All right, everybody have a fantastic week. I will see everybody on, hopefully maybe we'll get that Jennifer Ashley on Thursday, and we'll have some fun too. So everybody have a fantastic week. Stay safe, all positive. Talk to you guys.